What's going on, Detroit Lions fans? Welcome back here. Detroit Done 313 with Steve. Look, this is a monstrous game we got here Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. Not only is the division on the line, man, we can't afford to go back 2 games to the Minnesota Vikings. We got to find a way to get this one out. Tough game, road test, division opponent, a tough, respectable division opponent. I'm going to get into some stuff, and I think we're going to have a great chess match here in this game. Not just one. I'm not just looking at one player. I'm looking at offensive units versus defensive units. Who's going to come out on top? Strength on strength. What's going on with the Detroit Lions? What the Minnesota Vikings are doing? I'm going to cover quite a bit as much as I can, but I don't want to spill too much. All right, we got our game day episode coming out. I'll have that up probably Friday sometime in the afternoon, probably around 3 p.m. Friday. I'm going to have that out. So stay tuned for that one, but I'm going to kind of dive in. All right. We're past all the trade talk. Okay. I've covered a lot of stuff this past week about Aiden Hutchinson, who to replace him. I got to let that go. No more trade talk until we have something official or some heavy rumor. I'm not going down that road anymore. I'm focusing on the future, the road ahead. We have to move on from Aiden Hutchinson for the rest of this year, and we're going to be okay. All right. I still think that this is a Super Bowl contending team. We have a tough road to match up. I was listening to the radio today, and they were talking about the NFC North, man. The NFC North is just a log jam. Every team has a winning record. I want to say off the top of my head, it's not a hard thing to add up, but I think off the top of my head, they said that the teams in the NFC North are like 17-5 through 6 weeks. That's crazy, man. This is a tough division. I still think that the Detroit Lions are the top dogs. Roster for roster, I don't think that there's a team in our division who matches up well with us. And I know we have a big loss with Hutch, but offensively, we're just a juggernaut. Okay, so I want to get into some stuff. What we're looking at in this game on Sunday is 2 potential head coaches. I know Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings, and Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator of the Lions. Neither one of these guys are probably getting a lot of sleep this week, okay? And I know Brian Flores was asked in an interview. I was trying to upload it in here, but YouTube and its copyrights will not let me do that. I'll just kind of try to paraphrase. He was asking, how do you handle Ben Johnson's offense and all the trickery and all the different formations? And I loved his response. I thought it was great. He said, you fight fire with fire. All right, so I think we're in for a huge match, a chess match. I love it. The game within the game. When I'm thinking about these 2 potential head coaches, and I know Brian Flores has been a head coach, Ben Johnson's name's been floated around. These guys are both due. All right. They're both going to get another shot. I think these will probably be the 2 biggest names with me. You could throw Aaron Glenn's name in the mix somewhere, but I think these are the 2 big names. Ben Johnson, Brian Flores will be the 2 hot tickets teams are going to want to bring in as their team's next head coach once Black Monday comes and some other coaches get fired. I know there's already the Jets opening up, but, it's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to these 2 guys going head-to-head. For the Detroit Lions, obviously, what's our strength? It's the offensive line, okay? Number 1 offensive line in the league. That's according to every site known to man, PFF, ESPN, all the ESPN shows. When they do their rankings, they have the Lions as number 1 offensive line, okay? The Vikings have the number 1 overall defense, so this is what I'm talking about, this chess match that's going to be going on. I want to show you guys. I'm going to bring in a picture, and we'll do some more kind of a film type study, but it's not really a film. So let me just bring that in real quick. This is how the Minnesota Vikings line up on defense. And we're going to talk about it, and it's complicated. I'm going to make it sound easy, but I know it's not. Okay. So this is the Minnesota Vikings last week against the New York Jets. What they like to do, it's called, they walk most of their defenders right up to the line of scrimmage. So this was the best shot I could find. You see their base defensive line right here. And then everyone who's standing off, you got your corner up top, your corner at the bottom, but these 2 linebackers, they will walk right up to the line of scrimmage. And what they're trying to do is, and this is where Jared Goff in the offensive line has to be on point. I couldn't find a picture of exactly how they do it, but they do it very, very well. They will walk everyone up to this offensive line. They're going to force the quarterback to try to identify who's responsible for which zone, okay? And like I said, sounds easy just saying it, but it's not. Jared Goff and the offensive line, mainly Frank Ragnow, they're going to have to try to figure out, hey, who on defense, mainly these linebackers, not everyone can blitz all the time, okay? Someone has to have a responsibility, a zone, a man coverage. If we can identify that fast enough and be in the right play formation and the right play call, we'll be successful. And again, I'm not knocking the Minnesota Vikings. They're really, really, really good. Like, this is what they do. This is their bread and butter on defense, is causing confusion, making you make mistakes, making your offensive line slide to the left when you're blitzing from the right. They do it very, very well. I know that what I'm saying sounds like it's super easy to figure out. It's not. When you factor in the play clock, the crowd noise, motions and timing, it's chaotic for the offense to figure out. But Jared Goff, Frank Ragnow, if we can identify which one of these linebackers can actually blitz and which one of them has to have a responsibility somewhere on this field. Because let me bring that picture in again. If you can see, now just imagine that these three linebackers are right up on the line, right in between these defensive tackles and these ends, causing chaos. They do it a lot. 3 or 4 of them have to have a responsibility. You can't just send the house every single time, or eventually you'll get burned. Okay, so if Jared can figure out, and him and Frank can figure out, hey, this is the right play call, this linebacker's blitzing from here, and I'm trying to make it as simple as I can with wording, and it's very hard without any like more visual effects. I wish I had some, but I just don't. But I think that's going to be the key to the game. Okay, we have the best offensive line in football. They have one of the best defensive coordinators in football. This is going to be it's going to be just two juggernauts going at it, man. And I can't wait. And it's easy to just sit back and watch the game and try to dissect things, but I really like to dive into this. What do the Vikings do well? What do we do well? How do we counteract it? Okay. I think we have enough playmakers and our offense is suited to where with that type of defense, we can get the ball out fast. We have Amon St. Brown. You have Jamison Williams, who all you got to do is get the ball in his hands, make a guy miss. Jahmyr Gibbs. We have a dominant run offensive line. We have 2 of the best backs in football. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. I can't wait to see it, guys. And again, this is a matchup that we're probably going to be seeing. Well, obviously, we will be seeing it later in the year. But you'll probably be seeing these guys, Ben Johnson and Brian Flores, matched up again in the future, and it'll just be fun to watch from a football fan standpoint. So our offense, their defense, it's going to be the match of the day. Okay, I don't know how this game's not prime time. Somehow we got stuck watching the Jets. Oh, okay, they traded for Devontae Adams. They traded to save their season. Okay, they're kind of floundering right now. Why I have to watch the Jets on prime time and not the Lions and Vikings? I think that this is the matchup of the day. I think this is a matchup where a lot of teams are going to be watching. Vikings are undefeated. Lions are 4-1. NFC North, we can even it up. Can't fall two games behind. We can't. I don't want to call it a must win. There's still a lot of football left to be played. Any given Sunday, you never know who's going to beat who. Obviously, I don't think the Minnesota Vikings are going to end the season 17-0 and just coast their way to a Super Bowl championship. I don't believe that. But I do think that this is where we can really make a statement that we are still the kings of the North. The NFC North is still ours. All roads lead through Detroit, not just in the division, in the playoffs, on the way to the Super Bowl, guys. Leave some comments down below. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. I think that this is the true matchup of the day. Something to keep an eye on. If you guys have something else, again, leave it in the comments. Stick around. Hit that like button, guys. I'll be back later with another show. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night.